All right, Shalom. Call Haloyim, La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who have taught his young brothers his knowledge. Honors and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there that's doing the work in truth, sincerity. Shalom to you, Shalom to the Akwaf that believe as well. Back at you with another short lesson. Lord willing, is edifying. Um, I entitled this lesson, I the Lord do all these things. And it comes from the book of Isaiah, the 45th chapter and the 7th verse. Okay. Because I had a couple lessons on my mind that I wanted to do. And this one stuck out more. So I decided to do this one because I was thinking upon, our people and how, you grow up hearing the phrase, um, you know, especially older Jakes, older Israelites, God wouldn't do this, God wouldn't do that, because they think that, the Most High is all love. All right. And he don't hates things. Right. And then also they think that, more importantly, when some evil is done, they don't think the Lord is the one that's doing it. All right. And that's the purpose of this video, to prove that the Lord, all right, is the one that's doing it. Okay. It's not the spiritual demon Satan, which is the son of the Most High that do the left hand bidding on the left hand side. It's the Most High himself. All right. That's put Satan on individuals. Okay. Or evil spirits on individuals. Okay. So this is Isaiah 45 and 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, see this in all caps, I, Yahweh, do all these things. Excuse me. I, Yahweh, do all these things. Okay. So you people out there don't understand, all right, who is doing it. And then I'm going to prove that it's the Most High himself. Because anytime you see the word Lord in all caps, we know that's the Heavenly Father himself, the Most High. See? And if you read the Hebrew, it says Yahweh. Okay. See, we know it ain't Greek, so we know in Jehovah ain't even accounted for, because that's not even his name. All right. And it's so J even in the Greek. All right. But right here it says A. Okay, let me highlight that so you can see. All right. It says the proper name of the one true God. Okay. That's his name. Okay. So let's read it again. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. Okay. And I got example, all right, a couple examples I'm going to get proving that the Lord of heavens, or the Most High, you know, is the one that is doing these things. All right, let's go get a couple of examples. First, I'm going to go right here to the book of 1 Samuel 18. All right, during the time of Saul. All right, where, the Lord had, took the spirit from Saul, and he was, he had anointed David. All right, and Saul knew it. Okay, and that's the reason why Saul, began to hate David. Okay, wanted to slay him. Okay. 1 Samuel chapter 18, verse 16. Just give you a little backdrop of the story. I'm gonna read a few verses. It says, and it came to pass, as they came when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, which he had just slew Goliath, that the women came out of all cities of Israel, singing and dancing to meet King Saul with tabrets, with joy, and with instruments of music. And the women answered one another as they played, and said, Saul had slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s. See, verse 8. And Saul was very wroth. Okay, what does it mean to be wroth? Okay, let me see here. It's wroth. All right, the Hebrew word there is from the root word chara. All right, chara, and it says to be burned, too hot, to be scorched, be charred. All right. Let's go back. It says, to be hot, to be furious, burn, become angry, be kindled. Okay. So, Saul anger was kindled, all right, against David. Okay. He became furious. Okay. Because they was praising King David. All right. The women, they was like, because basically when the people knew that David killed tens of thousands, they made him more mightier and more notable. Okay. Than Saul, even though Saul was the king. Okay. It says in verse 8, and Saul was very wroth, he was furious, and the saying displeased him. And he said, they have ascribed unto David 10,000s, and to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom? All right, so basically, spirit of jealousy. Basically, he got jealous. All right, spirit of jealousy was upon Saul. All right, verse 9, and Saul eyed David from that day forward. Yeah, he didn't, basically he looked at David with the side eye. Okay, let me see. I thought the word eye would come up, but you read on the NLT side, First Samuel 18:9. On the NLT side, it says, so from that time on, Saul kept a jealous eye on David. See, he was jealous. Okay, verse 10. Here's the point. And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from the Most High came upon Saul, and he prophesied in the midst of the house, and David played with his hand, and as at other times, and there was a javelin in Saul's hand. See, and so pretty much that's when the Most High sent that evil spirit and put it upon Saul. And then what Saul do? I already told you that it tells you that he was furious. It was displeasing to him. Okay, and then after that he would seek to take David's life. All right. And you can read the whole story in your own time, but just to show you that evil spirit came from the Most High. Okay, that the evil spirit came from the Most High, and pretty much, you seen, the countenance on David. All right, totally changed. Okay, because before then, David was a good servant of Saul. Okay, and he actually loved Saul, or had love for Saul. And when the Most High even delivered Saul into his hand, he did not slay Saul. All right, when you get into the story. Okay, so let's move from there. I'm gonna go to the book of 1 Kings, chapter 22. All right, dealing with Ahab, king of the northern tribes at the time, king of Israel. All right, what the Lord had done unto him. All right, which led into his fall. All right, well, his death. Okay, because Ahab had died. All right, in battle. Well, just give you a backdrop of the story, what's going on. 1 Kings 22:1, and they continued 3 years without war between Syria, and Israel. And it came to pass in the third year that Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, came down to the king of Israel. And basically, what will go on is, what began to happen is, the Syrians came up against Israel, us northern tribes, and it was during the time when they was, the kings of Israel or kings of the northern tribes were having dealings with the Syrians, and then at times, they would have war with them. Okay, which ultimately, the Syrians came and took us northern tribes away from our land, the land of Israel. Okay. Now I'm gonna go to the point though. I'm gonna jump down to the point right here in verse 21. Went a little too far. Let's go up. Okay, here we go. Verse 21, it says, and there came forth the Spirit and stood before the Most High, before the Lord, I'm sorry, and said, and you know it's in all caps again, so we know it's Yahweh, and said, I will persuade him. And Yahweh said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lion spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also, go forth to do so. Verse 23. Now therefore, behold, Yahweh had put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and the Lord had spoken evil concerning thee. Okay, so there it is again, where a spirit came up, which was an angel, okay, and told the Heavenly Father that he would go forth and put a lying spirit on, in the mouth of those prophets. Okay, and when you think about that, that's exactly what it says. Because the Lord told him, yeah, you're going to prevail. Because why? They appease the wrath of him that made them. Okay, let me get that in the Apocrypha. All right, Ecclesiastes, also known as Sirach 39 and 28. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury they lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Because, who made them? The Most High Heavenly Father, because he's known as what? The Father of spirits. Okay, let's get that. The book of Hebrews, chapter 12 and verse 9. All right, Hebrews 12 and 9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh, which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? Yeah, it's talking about the Most High Heavenly Father. Okay, the Ancient of Days. See? Because why? Ultimately, the Most High, the one that sent that spirit out there, all right, that evil spirit, all right, to serve and to do his will, all right, to accomplish that which he want that spirit to accomplish. Okay. This is why it's so important, for us to know that the Lord, all right, the Lord of heavens, okay, the Most High himself, all right, is the one that's in control. See, people think that things happen out of just coincidence or just by chance. Well, first and foremost, when there's good or evil, the Most High have done it. Okay. Let me get that in Amos real quick. The book of Amos. All right, this is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 6. It says, shall the trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city and Yahweh had not done it? Okay. Let me read it again. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city and Yahweh had not done it? Because why? Amos knew who had done it. Okay. Just like Job told his wife when she started, to fucking, come up, speak against him because he was starting to be afflicted. All right. What did he tell her? Let me get that. This is the book of Job, chapter 2. And I'm starting at verse 9. All right. This is right after Job was starting to be afflicted by Satan. The Most High told Satan, yeah, you can afflict him, but you can't take his life. Okay. And when Satan began to afflict him, the first one that turned, on Job was his wife. Okay. Excuse me. Let's get that. It says here in Job chapter 2 in verse 9, then said his wife unto him, well, start at 7. We read down. Come on. Start at 6, actually. And Yahweh said unto Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. So Satan went forth from the presence of Yahweh and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown, which is his head. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, see, now after he's, getting these boils and, being afflicted, right? This is where his wife come into play. All right, verse 9, it says, then said his wife unto him, doest thou still retain thine integrity? Curse the Most High and die. All right. show you the character of a woman. Okay. All right. It says, verse 10, but he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil? See? So even Job knew. Okay. And all this did not Job sin with his lips. Okay. So even Job knew, even after he began to get afflicted and he was, falling into, those boils and he was being afflicted by Satan, still he knew the Most High had done it. Okay. Who gave Satan the permission? It said the Lord in all caps. So Yahweh did. Okay. Some of our people don't understand. When some good happened, oh, thank the Lord. And then when some evil happened, oh, hey, then the Lord wouldn't do that. No, the Most High did do that. Okay. The Lord told us from the beginning. All right, when he brought us from our forefathers, okay, our foreparents from under those Egyptians, what did he tell us? That we're supposed to fear him. Okay. We're supposed to fear the Father of spirits. Okay, the Most High himself, Yahweh. Uh, Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. And now, Israel, what doth Yahweh thy power require of thee, but to fear Yahweh thy power, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yahweh thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul. See? To keep the commandments of Yahweh and his statutes which I command thee this day for thy good. Because out of fear, all right, out of fear of the Lord, okay, that leads to life. All right. When you don't fear the Lord, what you do? You start to rebel and revolt, and that kindles a fire in the Lord's anger, man. And we know what that looked like. All right. We know what that looked like really well, because why? When the Lord, his anger was kindled against us, he punished us. Okay. Even though times he repented of his punishment, still yet our people would just turn around and do the same evil shit and wickedness that basically that got our behinds and deep trouble with the Most High. They don't teach you this growing up, all right, in these so-called churches. That's why it says here in Proverbs 1:7, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. See, the fear of the Lord, because why? We're supposed to learn the fear of the Lord. Okay, ain't that what King David said? Didn't he say that in the book of what's that, Psalms 34 and 11, where you see it at the top, a Psalm of David. Okay, let's go to verse 11. It says, "Come, ye children, hearken unto me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord." Okay, when even when King David sinned, all right, he still fled from he still fled and hid himself, because why? He was in fear of what the Lord would do to him, because when he did, he committed the act of adultery, right? And the Lord took that first child he had when Uriah's wife, okay, because she really belonged to Uriah, all right, the one that King David sent to the front lines to die because he wanted her, okay, so he committed adultery with her, and adultery is punishable by death. So when she got pregnant, the Lord took that first child, then he gave him another child, which would be Solomon, okay. So the point is, King David was in the fear of the Heavenly Father, okay. Key word, fear, okay, because why? Let's read it again. Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. Okay. That's why. All right. Now I'm going to end it right here. The book of Ecclesiastes 12:13. It says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Okay. That's why I tell you that one of my favorite scriptures I always say was the book of Proverbs 16:4. The Lord had created all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. So and that's in all caps, okay. But the thing is, we're supposed to fear the Heavenly Father, okay? Because the Heavenly Father, he had, the wicked created, okay, which is the Edomites, okay, Esau, Edom, right, the house of Esau. And what did King David say about the wicked? That they're the Most High sword. They're part of the Most High sword, okay? So the point is, all right, the Lord do all these things, okay? And we're supposed to fear him as his people, okay? So with that, Lord willing, this short video was edifying. Into the next video, I want to say to you, Akim and you, Akwaf out there, Shalom, all right?